The market is weirding out. Let's talk about it today in Car Chats with Robert. Hey guys, Robert Rivera here with the Rivera Trading Group in association with Trading Academy, sporting my London sweatshirt that I haven't worn since the days back in London in February when we did the Jay Wayne London video in London. That was an amazing experience. It is sunny and cold here in South Florida. It was 50 degrees last night. This is Miami. 50 degrees in Miami. Think about that. 50 degrees in Miami. It was great though. It was great for sleeping in. The market is acting a little strange. GBP keeps pushing up, right? GBP USD, the one that I mainly focus on, keeps pushing up, and I'm just like not really believing that it's gonna go. So I keep looking for that fake out. I was able to catch a fake out last night, but in the end, it did push through for 90 some pips to the upside, trying to reach new highs, only again to crash and come back down into the zone. So again, GBP wants to go up, but it can't make up its mind that now is the time to go up. So if you look on the daily, it keeps wicking down. And every time it wicks down, it just gives me that feeling that, man, this thing is going to drop. It's going to drop hard, but it hasn't happened just yet. It keeps pushing up. So, yeah, we had some nice setup last night on that. And let's talk about the results. Here we go.
So this is GBP USD as we had it last night. As you can tell, we've been getting a lot of wick rejections from the top to the bottom. And then when it gets to a certain point, it goes right back up. You can see it from over here on the left and then right there in the middle. And then you see the rejections at the top yellow line there. But it keeps pushing up. In other words, it seemed like it was ranging in this area. And I'm thinking, okay, perhaps we can catch the break. A very tight zone that I created last night. That was only 15 pips. So any violent move is going to provide a good amount of pips for a win to the upside or to the downside. I put through the trend line there last minute just to see if I could catch an early break to the downside if price keeps moving forward without breaking. But in the end, we did have a break to the top. It was something like 18 pips, and then it dropped down. And as I was coming down, is when I caught it. Let's go to it. So this is the fake out. As I was mentioning, it went up like it was gonna break. This is on the hour chart. It went up like it was gonna break out. That little move right there was 18 pips though. But I waited for it to come back, and as it was coming back down and it was inching its way down, I'm looking at my other confirmations that I use for my fake out strategy. And just before it even hit that yellow line, the top yellow line, I took it, and that thing dropped really hard, really fast. It was something like 20 some pips. I was able to catch like 20 of them. I think it was 22, 23. So I maxed it out pretty good. I got like 20, almost 20, I think, if I remember correctly. And then it bounced right back up, and I'm thinking, my goodness, that bounce up makes it look like it's gonna break the top. Could it really be? And of course, this was the pre-London. So the pre-London is giving me my win to the downside, and perhaps when London comes and opens, it could break to the top side when the volume comes in, since it keeps trying to break the top. Let's see what happened there. So sure enough, here we have it. It gave that bounce down from the down up, and then it gathered a little more momentum. And when the London opened, man, it took off. That thing just blasted right through for 98 pips, almost 100 pips. It was quite a remarkable move. But if you look at the higher time frames, it keeps wicking out at that high level. It keeps coming back. Let me see if I can see it in the screen further to the left. No, I can't see it further to the left. But if you go to the higher time frames, you'll see how this just keeps dropping from this level. It just can't break it to the top side. But again, it's extended. I mean, it's like super extended. So in my mind, it's like, why does it keep trying to go up if it can't break it? It's either going to make some massive strong move to the upside sometime soon, or it's going to come crashing back down. I don't have it here, the picture that shows you that price is now back inside that zone. In fact, it is threatening to break the bottom zone to the downside. So, which is the move that I keep anticipating. I keep anticipating that it's going to crash because it's moved so high, so fast that I'm not thinking that it's going to keep going. However, I'll keep marking my charts and I'll be playing the market as it decides to do what it wants to do. If it breaks the top side, we'll take it to the top side. But it has to establish some form of support before it goes up. And perhaps it is forming it here at this zone. Perhaps it is forming it here at this zone since price came back down to it again. These are the results from last night. That my first sell there was an attempt. It was too early. I guess that's the bottom line. It was a little too early, and as I saw it failing, I went ahead and closed it, and I waited just a little longer to see if I can get something a little more solid. And so, sure enough, as it started coming back in, and I saw the momentum beginning to go to the downside, I went ahead and took that sell. And as I often tell my students, don't hold it like it's going to continue to drop. Just hold it to the next zone, which is what it did. It came down to the zone as you saw it, and then soon after I closed it, it wicked right back up. So I was able to maximize that sell on the zone, and I let the winner go as far as the 98 some pips. This is a good quarter for me, and there was no sense in me risking another entry after already made my money for the night, which is what I try to teach my students as far as risk management. Once you made your money for the day, just close your platform, which is what I did. I closed my platform and then sat there and watched it. And it's like, oh wow, look at that move. 90 some pips that I watched happen. But that's okay. Again, tomorrow will be another day. The market will keep flowing the money and we'll keep dipping in our buckets to get our portion of it.
Welcome back. I'm sorry that I don't have the picture depicting how price came back into the zone. If you go and open your charts right now, this is now in the afternoon, you'll be able to see 2 p.m., 2:20 p.m. Eastern time. You'll be able to see price back in the zone. And again, it may stay there in consolidation for the rest of the day, waiting for the London once again to try to figure out which way it is going to go. But again, if you go to the higher time frames, you will see how price keeps wicking out at the top. That is just a strong indication, as far as I'm concerned, of a drop. Perhaps it will continue pressing and find support enough to break through the top and keep going. But the more likely scenario is that it's going to drop for a little bit, gather some momentum, and then if it's going to break up, it will continue going up. As of right now, on the Fibonacci, it's not even a 23.6. I mean, it's still shallow. It's still shallow. So in other words, it could break to the top side, but the rejections at the top, price action is telling me that it's more likely to drop. And of course, the probabilities are on our side because it's extended. But on the fundamental side of things, if the Brexit things gets resolved between the Union and the Brits, then it could take off. It could take off to the top side. We shall see. Of course, the vaccine also going out in the UK is probably also helping the pound, and so we shall see what happens. In any case, it doesn't matter what happens. We mark our charts and we watch the action and we take our position based on what price action and market structure is telling us. Again, this is Robert Rivera with the Rivera Trading Group in association with Trading Academy. I hope that you're getting value from what you're seeing, and if so, please like, comment, and subscribe. God bless you.